Alright, hello everybody, this is Nick from the Arcade Hunters. With me as always, my good pal, Mr. Gerard. Say hello to the kids.
Hello.
And welcome to episode 29 of the Arcade Hunters. First off, we did not get to talking about Fun World, so this is not the Fun World episode. We got a little bit of news on the brand new Legends of Wrestlemania machine from Stern Pinball. We're going to be talking a lot about that. And we
got news on the limited edition.
Yes, the brand new limited edition. Well, it's called Legends of Wrestlemania.
Oh, okay, yeah. But
so if you hear Legends of Wrestlemania,
that's the limited edition.
The limited edition that has all of your favorite classic 90s and 80s wrestlers. Regular WrestleMania is all the current stars that people are like, I want John Cena on my pinball machine. I don't like him. I want Hulk Hogan. I liked him. He liked to Hulk out, and he didn't sell anything. He made the people look like shit. He wanted to be on top. But also, we're going to be talking about a very strange law that's been going on in Florida. Does it mean the end of Walt Disney World arcades? We don't know. So take a look.
Or does it mean the end of redemption games
in Florida?
So get bigger.
This is episode 29. We're calling it Florida State Laws and Wrestling. Let's go with the Arcade Hunters podcast. Enjoy.
I thought we were going to do wrestling in Florida State laws.
Okay, it's wrestling in Florida State laws. I'm sorry. Here we go. Episode 29.
Hey, everybody. This is Gerard, and I'm here with my good friend.
Hey, kids. This is Nick from the ArcadeHunters.com.
And we're going to... Whoa, sorry to cut you off. I was going to say we're going to bring you episode 29. And a little change of pace. I believe at the end of episode 28, we were talking about how we're going to jump into Fun World. But there's been too much new stuff going on to just skip over it with a light glance. So we're probably going to have another news-heavy episode. Because Nick stumbled onto something new. Got quoted over at Arcade Heroes.
Yes.
Almost like a mini interview. And Stern has decided to release more information about the pro model of Wrestlemania.
Limited edition.
Limited edition? Yes,
limited edition. Pros were already
Well,
done.
you know what? Fuck this website that I'm reading because they called it the pro model. I think this is also the same... I don't know why I trust it. This is also, I think, the same website that called Stern the most innovative company in pinball.
Is that the Verge?
Yes, it was the Verge.
The Verge. Yeah, and the guy even says, what is it? Wizard of Oz. And I was like, yeah, look at the Wizard of Oz. Tell me that's like, oh, this has a ring that you bat the ball back and forth, and it uses Linux. I was like, yeah. So most of the other stuff's been using Linux too. But no, that is today we had.
Well, first, let me just say, I'm going to apologize to Adam because I was trying to see if there's any more like a spreadsheet that Stern releases. So I was looking to see if something got leaked, and I ended up on The Verge when I really should have just gone over to Arcade Heroes to look at the post.
It's the real Arcade. I keep telling them you have to actually just get the clip from remember the real Ghostbusters cartoon where it just said Ghostbusters, but then the little sparkle flies in and it puts the real on it. I said you should do that for your site, so it flies onto the side and puts the real. But because if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you guys are just listening to us on YouTube for the first time, we have our friend Adam Pratt, who he runs a website called it's just ArcadeHeroes.com, and he's been doing it pretty much as long as we've been doing content on the internet, pretty much 7 or 8 years now, right?
Yeah, I think longer.
Yeah, he's been doing it longer, and
Oh well, It depends if you include the press start stuff before we're doing arcade and we're just doing a comic.
Yeah, I'm saying like a total for us is, from
I
press
think
start.
we might be equal, but he's definitely been doing the arcade stuff longer than us.
Arcade Hunters is a little younger that but I'm like, with the people are watching it on YouTube, they'll look at the channel thing. It says I think like 2007 now that we
Hmm.
started. But Adam has the Arcade Heroes, and it's basically news and stuff about the arcade industry. Whenever a new game gets released, any news that breaks and stuff like that. But there are these other guys that are based out in California that I don't know why, just for some reason, they just decided to call themselves the Arcade Heroes. And Adam, politely asked them, like, hey, man, I've been doing this for 8 years, trying to make a name for myself. And he goes, I really, it's confusing to a lot of people. They think I'm you, and they probably think you're me. So can we change names? And you never heard back from them. And it's weird because they follow us on stuff like Instagram and stuff, the other
Hmm.
guys that do it. And I've never, flat out went out and said, hey, why don't you just, for, curiosity's sake, just come up with another name. I mean, I'm not saying what the guys are doing there is that, they're pretty much doing almost like the same stuff that we're doing. They're going around to trade shows and stuff like that. But, just come up with a different name. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, at least it's not like the people that hijacked our previous site, arcade-hunters.com, and are posting the freaking crossword. Was it USA crossword puzzle
No, it
answers?
was for Newsday.
Oh, Newsday. That's it.
USA Today would be a little bit bigger on scale, but for some reason it's friggin' Long Island Newsday that no one reads.
That's
Pretty
funny.
much everybody just reads it when they get it on the toilet.
Not even like a national newspaper.
So, the first bit of news, first kind of a cool thing, Stern released two photos, well, now three photos of of the limited edition version of WrestleMania entitled Legends of WrestleMania. And all that we know is that it's going to come with a placard, a little gold placard that Hulk Hogan is going to autograph
Mm-hmm.
400 of them. And they finally showed off. They only unfortunately showed off one side of the cabinet, so everybody's going crazy about who's going to be on the game. So if we take a look, and I'm going to be splicing the photos in on the back glass. Of course, we have. I'm going to use the guys from Ireland that do OSW review. We have Cut Hogan right in the front,
Mm-hmm.
and do it. The guy's an asshole. No, would not drop the belt to Bret Hart and all that other stuff. But we're a arcade game podcast, so not going to get into more of the wrestling politics. You have to have Andre on it, Andre the
Mm-hmm.
Giant. Uh, Rocky and Stone Cold are on it, and yes, Undy is on it. We got
Mm-hmm.
Undertaker, so that's on your backlist. On the right side is Shawn Michaels, and then we go. I have to do it. I got to back away from the microphone. I want to apologies in advance. Woo!
And
You can't say Ric Flair without throwing in a woo.
you can't talk about Paul Bearer.
Oh
I
yes!
can't believe he's on the side art. I'm looking at that with him holding the urn.
Oh my
That's
god!
awesome.
When he came back, when they did Hogan, no, when they did Undertaker and Kane,
Mm-hmm.
and he had not been in the picture for years, so they just have him walk out, and you just hear, "Oh yes!" like that, and the people just. I think that was in. I think that was WrestleMania 20 in
Mm-hmm.
Madison Square Garden. I wish I went to see that, and they just went. Everybody just went absolutely insane, like yeah. So LOD is on it,
Yep.
and Jake the Snake Roberts, and then on the front cover, of course,
Who's
under the shooter.
who's that high flying in the background?
I don't know who. Oh, that's Shawn Michaels
That's
doing the dive at WrestleMania 10.
Mm-hmm.
I got to see that live in person. Oh my god, that was amazing. People are like, oh my, that supposedly like guys like Jeff Jarrett were all pissed off because there was going to be like a 6-person tag match
Mm-hmm.
that he was going to be in, but the Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon ladder match went on so long, they just said, no, keep going. I was like, shit, I wanted like 45 minutes more of that. They would put in stuff on that no one had seen. That was the match of the show.
Mm-hmm.
That and also Owen Hart and Bret Hart together, and getting the schoolboy pin on him. That was a lot of fun. Jake the Snake Roberts. So on the front, we got the announce team, the '80s announce team. So you got Vinnie Mac is on it. They have the young Vinnie Mac, and then it'll be a happening. They have the Gorilla Monsoon on it.
Yeah,
and right above he's pointing at the start button. The one and only greatest manager who ever lived, will ever live. Second being Paul Heyman, but Mr. Bobby the Brain Heenan. Oh my god. So now we go and we look at the actual thing for the game. So they did print up a different playfield, but there's still some spots that they're using the same plastics. Like they have current model Big Show.
Yeah.
Bald, a bit heavier Big Show. I'm not gonna make fun of Big Show. I don't want to have that guy come out. Sorry, you're saying I'm fat.
They still have it. Looks like the Daniel Bryan.
Well, he deserves to be on there.
Oh yeah. Oh, I agree. 30. I'm just saying
that was amazing. Daniel Bryan's over the pop bumpers. Current Kane. It's not like the old style Kane. It's like whenever he does put on the thing. LOD's on the slingshots. Yep. On the epilepsy warning, because now all the machines are going to have epilepsy warnings since they're using the LED lights and they're a lot brighter. So Jerry the King Lawler is above the epilepsy warning. And then on the left, this is going to piss him off. It's because of you got in the middle we have the certificate of authenticity that Hulk Hogan has signed it for one of the 400 models. And of course, LOD's on the slingshots. But on the left, this is going to piss him off. Got the Junkyard Dog. God rest his soul. Poor guy died. Got into I think a drunk driver slammed into him. He was on his way to his daughter's college graduation, and friggin' took him out like nothing. Died instantly, right on the scene. But we have the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, the greatest villain laugh of all time. You cannot emulate that. But pretty much the biggest character of them all, wouldn't you say, Gerard?
Oh yeah,
the biggest character. Everybody,
and if not the biggest, the most vocal character.
Oh yes,
of them all.
He will break your back, and he will make you humble. The one and only Sheiky Baby Iron Sheik is on it, and suppose there's an interview with him going, "Fuck Ted DiBiase," and guess what? He's right next to him. He's like, "I don't care. They give me money." I don't think he even knows how to play a pinball machine.
No.
So, speaking of that,
I was going to say,
I got to talk to you, Gerard.
We forgot about doing this last time.
Okay, you were telling me off the microphone. You got to tell the kids at home about your story with the one and only Iron Sheik. I'll leave it to you.
Okay, so right after I finished college, I used to work at a car rental place, National Alamo, and they were located in a Holiday Inn. And I was in charge of, I was considered maintenance. I was a part of, I forgot, local whatever, Jimmy Hoffa's union. And it was funny, it was a mechanics union, and all I really did was wash cars and vacuum them. But I had got my union shirt, says mechanic and everything. Anyway, so I worked there, and one day there was a wrestling convention at the Holiday Inn while I was working. I had no idea beforehand, and it was before I got back into wrestling. But I recognized a lot of the 80s wrestlers, like Sergeant Slaughter was there. Can't believe I'm drawing a blank. There's so many other people. Anyway, the one that stood out the most was the Iron Sheik. And he was walking around with a cane, kind of limping around. He had his, I think, assistant with him. And they were doing signings and stuff. There was one guy, both Nick and I were was describing him, and Nick was trying to figure out who. But there was one guy who showed up in the most ridiculous, straight out of the 80s, like Stingray Corvette with all the goofy ground effects. All black with tinted windows. Thing looked like it ran like crap. Because it looks like it hasn't been updated at all. But anyway, so I got to see the Iron Sheik get into an argument in the parking lot with someone. And he immediately starts going, fuck you, fuck you. And the funniest thing I ever saw, now he's hobbling around on his cane. He throws his cane down, holds his arms in the air in the middle of a Holiday Inn parking lot, and starts doing the what? I'm right here, fuck you up, fuck you up. And start and the assistant's trying to calm him down. The other person's like just kind of getting away, and he's hobbling without his cane over the person, like pounding his chest and putting his hands in the air, going, "Fuck you, right here! I'll fuck you up." And I almost lost it laughing. My friend almost lost it. It was one of easily the funniest and coolest things I ever saw. But just it seems like he has just the sense of immediate, this like switch that all of a sudden the attitude just changes. Something happened that pissed him off and rubbed him the wrong way, and all of a sudden he's ready to throw down in a parking lot. But but the fact that he literally took his cane and threw his cane on the ground. And it's like, really? You're using that to help you walk? Don't you think that would be good to use in a fight?
I was like, I have a weapon that I'm holding right here in my hand, or I can throw it and hobble at the guy.
It's like, I've never seen an old man throw a cane down and start and go, you want to go? I'll fuck you up. You're fucking with the wrong person.
He has, obviously, if you guys aren't wrestling fans, there's one of the shoot interviews that he was doing for our video where he just famously says, fucking bullshit.
Yeah, and he had that, I can't do his accent, but picture that accent while he's talking. Fucking hysterical.
And there's the one that I love that they used to be the guys that used to do ventrilo harassment, and the guy took a bunch of the Iron Sheik clips and made it like the Iron Sheik was prank calling them on Skype while they're trying to play friggin' World of Warcraft, and he's going, are you the man? Are you just a piece of shit? No good motherfucker. And then he goes, excuse me? And he goes, you suck, Hulk. No one can say, here's the thing, none of these wrestlers can say Hulk Hogan. And people make fun of our accent.
Oh, God.
It's Hulk. H-O-A-K. Hulk Hogan. Hogan. He goes, you suck Hulk Hogan dick, and you suck Hulk Hogan ass. I'm the legend. I break your back and make you humble.
And I mean, that's the language he was using. He was calling the person a piece of shit. I mean, it was just like, and it came out of nowhere. Now, this is Long Island, a very busy hotel. They have one small room where they're doing a meet and greet with autographs, and I think charging $10 to get it. It was a very small, local, put-together thing. And here he is in the middle of the parking lot, screaming and yelling, and there's the shuttle bus pulling in, bringing in people from MacArthur Airport. A lot of business people stay at this Holiday Inn on Vets Highway, which is right near where you are, Nick, because there's a lot of companies around there. And there's people walking in and out of the hotel looking like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, if they didn't grow up in the 80s and they don't know who's this angry Arab guy that's throwing his cane at somebody.
I'll fucking kill you, piece of shit.
The only thing that I don't like on the current on the LE model is that they use the championship belts. Mm-hmm. They don't use the throwback belts. I guess that would cost them too much because I mean above they have Undy, Shawn Michaels, Hulk Hogan, and Steve Austin. You know, they're not in the other game. You know, they have Rocky and Cena and I think Triple H and D-Bry are on it. So I would have liked to have seen like, hey, if they're gonna put the 4 other wrestlers on it, why don't they just put the throwback belts? They could add the I just love the original gold, the winged eagle belt that they called it. That just looks so much better than the Cena spinner belt. Was so fucking dumb. I hated that thing.
Mm-hmm. Now, one thing that I do like about this, besides the colored LCD Jumbotron, which is awesome, the spinner makes so much more sense now.
Yes.
I originally thought the spinner was going to be in the center of the actual play field.
Yeah.
And having it in the ring That makes so much more sense. In the little rubber band rinks, that's going to throw the ball around as if you were a wrestler being thrown into the ropes and
Yep.
everything. So
And
that's cool.
it supposedly has I think it's above the Big Show. Let me look on the other one. Yeah, I think that might be above the Big Show, where supposedly that's the slam ramp that I guess you supposedly will slam the ball off the ramp.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see the third thing because there was basically, you got the new art package, you got the Titantron, you got the spinner, and the other thing was the ramp that supposedly you flip the ball back in, but I really don't see it on this. Supposedly, what it sounds like, they have um, the WWE sides where there's those ramps
Mm-hmm.
that take you up into the ring. Supposedly, you can do an orbit shot around it on the LE, but on the Pro, they're not going to be able to do an orbit shot. So it sounds like everybody's just going to be see how it's probably going to be. I'm going too fast.
I think the
The game,
Jumbotron might be in the way.
yeah, I think it might be hiding whatever's back there.
Yeah.
But suppose looking at this game makes me think of their Steve Ritchie's World Poker Tour,
Mm-hmm.
where it had the mini playfield on the top, where pretty much you spent the majority of the time trying to get onto the mini playfield, trying to lock the ball, trying to do the
Mm-hmm.
it's called the ace in the hole multi-ball. I have a video of it that I'm gonna throw up probably in the next week or two, but it's got no intro to it, and the stuff on. Oh, how you doing?
Sorry, I'm getting a jelly bean from my Disney Jelly Belly dispenser.
Would you like a jelly baby? Yeah, they do a Doctor Who convention at that same Holiday Inn now. Like they bring over some of the actors and stuff like that were in Doctor Who. So very interesting. Basically, a lot of people want to see who's going to be on the left side of the cabinet, and Stern has not released a photo of the left side because supposedly Ultimate Warrior got on there, and also where's Roddy Piper?
Mm-hmm.
Where's the Macho Man? Where's Bret the Hitman Hart?
Where are the Bushwhackers?
But of course they have to have Triple H on it.
Where's the gobbledygook?
The gobbledygook. Oh my god. The Red Rooster
and
Tugboat.
What the hell? What was the name of the wrestler? I think wrestled only once because it was a horrible costume and he tripped over the 2x4 when he came busting through the wall. He had a stormtrooper helmet on that was like all sparkly gold.
That was Tugboat, the same guy.
But
and
what was
that,
the do you
that's
remember
the Shockmaster?
The Shockmaster, yep. They gotta have the Shockmaster on the other side.
They'll have the Shockmaster premium edition. They'll be because they said they were rehearsing it, and the way he busted through the wall, he's like he almost knocked it down. So the guy put in a 2x4
at the
for
bottom
extra support and didn't tell the guy, and he just goes falls flat on his face.
The helmet rolls off.
I forget who. I think you hear Dusty Rhodes in the corner go,
yep.
His fucking helmet fell off.
Yep.
But my favorite with him is still he's got a bicycle. He's Dusty. You gotta have Dusty on there.
Mm-hmm.
Insane Dusty commentary. And then it's got the little Titantron still using a red dot matrix display. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
That would look so much better if it was the color thing in it.
But the cool thing the vibe that I'm kind of getting, it's kind of they're doing along the lines of what they did with Family Guy and Shrek.
Yeah.
Except this one has it has a little more than just cosmetic changes. But at the end of the day, if you're an old school wrestling fan, you can get the limited edition version, has the old school wrestlers, and I believe what you told me, Nick, before is it's also going to have different audio.
Yeah, because when you're playing the game, it sounds like they're going to use like what they've done with Mustang. Well, because this is from the same designer, John Trudeau, where I guess you pick out your wrestler. So, like, if you're playing the Pro model, you say, "Okay, I want to be John Cena," so it'll play, like that. So if you play, Hulk Hogan, it's gonna play Real American. It'll play I'm a sexy boy.
Oh God, can you
Have that playing in the arcade over and over again. Sexy boys and Undertaker and Daniel Bryan. So it sounds like you pick your wrestler and you stay as the wrestler.
and
I
now,
don't. We don't know how it's gonna play yet because no
yeah,
one's played it with fully working code. Because there was another trade show in the Netherlands. Let me see where it is. I'm going to go to our good friends at pinballnews.com. Great guys over there at Pinball News. Go check them out. It was at the EAG International. It's in London. The London Docklands, it's called. So they got the guys from Highway Pinball there. They're showing off Full Throttle. And they're showing how their module pinball system is, that they have different stuff in there for Full
mm-hmm.
Throttle. Also, pinball news, they just announced for any of you owners of Wizard of Oz, they have a ticket module on it. So it's going to be getting into the next subject that we're going to talk about.
Yeah, I just want to touch on one other thing with Wrestlemania. So I know that picking the different character songs, that's going to be different. But what about the other sounds? Will it have voices from the other wrestlers? Do we know any of that yet?
No one knows. It's still too early to tell because the only ones that they're showing the one at Stern here in the London show, and it's all pro models.
Mm-hmm.
They have one that I love that they actually have it cut in certain places. So they have you just see Brock Lesnar on the back glass.
Yeah.
And then everything else it's clear, so you can actually see what the sandboard looks like, what it looks like running, so you can actually get a good view of it. And then they also have the side of the cabinet where it has the Bella twins and stuff like that, and that has a big slice taken out of it, so you can see the inside of the cabinet. So it's got like a plexiglass thing on it.
So for Brock Lesnar with the dot matrix screen, are they going to have an image on the dot matrix screen of him walk out, look at you, do a slight head tilt up, and then walk away?
Pretty much.
Because walk away. That's what he mainly does right now.
Well, you didn't see it yesterday. He was on yesterday. He did some Germans.
Okay.
But the poor guy, I don't know. I don't know if it's because I think it was diverticulitis he had, where it was really bad. But I mean, like he did two things, and he's sweating like someone opened the bottle of water and just dumped it on his head. I was like, Jesus Christ, he only did. I hope he's all right.
Yeah, because
maybe that's why he's stopping.
He's also only billed for, was it 4 shows a year?
Yeah. But so Stern is showing off The Hobbit. Of course, there's been nothing different on The Hobbit.
Stern is showing off The Hobbit.
Jersey Jack is there.
Okay.
He's got The Hobbit. But this is also weird. There's one booth. It has The Hobbit. Next to it is the Medieval Madness remake that Stern's building, and then the Wizard of Oz that has the ticket redemption on it. So supposedly you'll be able to put this modular in. It's got a different topper that says "Win tickets," and a brand new rule set that makes it easier for kids to play it.
Okay, that was going to be my next thing. Is it going to be very stingy with the tickets? Because if it's going for kids...
Yeah, because I've seen games on Wizard of Oz go very, very short for when little kids are playing it. So supposedly, he said they're making the rules. It's going to have a completely different rule set if you have it set up for a redemption play.
That's good.
Oh, wow, they actually have Star Wars Battle Pods there. And this is from the guys at Pinball News, and they're showing Star Wars Battle Pod, and they are showing the new Jurassic Park game that Raw Thrills is making. I don't know why they're calling it Jurassic Park, but just put World on it.
Yeah.
They have Namco's there. They got a whole Pac-Man section, Mario Kart Arcade GP. Let's see what else they got. A bunch of other stuff, and it's still some ticket stuff. Mostly ticket stuff. They have guys in Minion costumes running around the rock climbing wall. A clown on stilts. Pinball machines. And it's Pinball News. What do you think they're going to cover?
No,
great guys over there. Be sure to check them out.
Now, speaking of tickets, that's a good segue into our next section.
So, it was about yesterday. One of my friends sends me a thing on Facebook saying, Nick, have you seen this? What do you think this means? So, Gerard, you actually had a chance to read the whole article, so I'll let you talk about it because I shouldn't really have answered Adam back because I didn't read the whole thing. I feel like a schmuck.
So apparently this has been going on for a little while across the country. It sounds like, and I've seen this actually in Vermont and Florida, but there are these like mini adult arcades that have been popping up, and some have been it'll be like a bunch of video poker machines and stuff, and you might win tickets or you might win credits, and you can get prizes like gift cards or whatever. There's one in I think it's Bellows Fall, Vermont. I don't know if it's still open. It was there like 3 years ago, and they had a bunch of these machines, and it looked like you could win. I want to say like chewing tobacco and stuff. It was a weird, weird place.
Chaw, Big Chief.
Well, Florida, I believe, looks like it was last April. Oh no, March 20. No,
Orlando Sentinel for everybody, by the way.
Oh no, this is I'm going back to the beginning. So on March 22nd, Florida's House approved a measure that would alter the language used to describe slot machines and other gaming devices that players play to win money, and they changed the definition so that lawmakers are hoping to close any loopholes that have allowed what Florida calls internet cafes to open. Apparently these internet cafes are kind of like prize cafes, and what the law does, it actually impacts the amusement sector, like family entertainment centers and arcades. So let me dig a little deeper. So they're gonna measure the attention. It's an anti-sweepstakes measure. It's cracking down internet gaming centers. And the bill states that prize awarding machines cannot accept bills or smart cards, aka any type of cards that you put credit on, like that Dave and Buster's use.
And that Disney World uses.
That Disney World uses. At their
only, the Disney Quest, I'm sorry, they use it at, not at Disney Quest, because Disney Quest is on Coin Drop for any games that you win prizes on. You have to buy tokens. And then at their hotels, they use the cards like a Dave & Buster's.
Yep, where you go to a machine. Sometimes you pay $1 for the card, and then you can charge it with credits, and you can hold on to the card. And at some of the places, the cards will keep track of any credits that you've won or earned, or tickets that you've earned. So it gets rid of the physical ticket aspect.
Mm-hmm.
So this is very important. The bill states that prize awarding machines cannot accept bills or smart cards, nor can they award gift cards or prizes deemed greater than 75 cents in value.
Yeah.
And the purpose is to clarify what is allowed for sweepstakes cafe operators. Apparently they've been skirting the law by, instead of giving out cash, giving out gift cards, like a Publix gift card. Publix is a big supermarket chain down in Florida. So at these, what they call senior arcades, they might be playing like video poker or slot machine, and they might be able to win enough credits to get like a $20 a supermarket gift card.
Yeah.
And for some reason, sounds like that. So the big reason for the push was a bunch of these centers, sounds like a dozen of the centers, were linked to a organization called Allied Veterans of the World. This was a Jacksonville, Florida-based charity group that was accused of collecting millions of dollars for veterans, but I think only 1 or 2% of their earnings were actually given to veterans.
It's pretty much like almost every charity.
Yeah, and apparently
like Susan G. Komen that does Back to Wrestling.
Oh yeah.
The friggin' the CEO makes more money than most friggin' CEOs, and they only give like 20% of their donations to charity.
But at least this is like 2%.
Yeah, this is even worse,
and
especially for veterans.
Yep. And they've been accused of also being a front for illegal gambling.
Mm-hmm. So the biggest problem is that the language in this is very, very broad, to the point that they are considering banning claw games
because prizes and claw machines are valued at more than 75 cents.
Which is kind of I don't believe that, because after talking to some guys that do run the claws, you get the prices pretty damn cheap.
True, but you have to remember some of the claw machines, like the Walmart by me has one of those claw machines, and we've seen them down in Jersey Shore where the bottom has like the little pebbles like you would put in an aquarium.
Yeah,
and jewelry boxes.
Mm-hmm.
And with jewelry, that's probably worth at least $3. And then you have iTunes gift cards. You have like the
Nanos and stuff like that.
And you have like the stacker redemption games where you have to stop the blocks. And if you hit the line, a big prize might be a Nintendo 3DS.
Yeah, I've seen people win Xboxes and stuff like that. So it sounds like with the way that this bill is and how broad the language is, it sounds like that Disney is going whole hog and completely going to be shuttering some of the stuff that they have.
Yeah, from what I've read, it sounds like that they're going to be shutting down the...
Oh, shit.
Did you read it?
12 minutes ago. 12 minutes ago, they just released the other side of the cabinet for Legends of Wrestlemania. So I'll put it in. Who is that? That looks like John Cena. I don't know. Is that John Cena?
Where is it?
It's Stern posted on their Facebook page. And you'll be seeing it now. Sorry, guys. Ultimate Warrior is on the other side. Guess what?
What?
No Macho Man Randy Savage! Yay! Thank you. But the other side has the Hitman Bret Hart.
That's good.
Roddy Piper.
We mentioned him before.
Yeah, that is John Cena. It's got I think it's John Cena, Brock Lesnar on the other side. Sergeant Slaughter, Hulk Hogan and Andre in a bear hug. Wow, the Sensational Sherry is on it. And it looks like, I don't know if that is... I think that's Daniel Bryan doing a head dive. And Yokozuna is on it. And everybody's going crazy. He says, you knew the Hitman Warrior Sergeant Slaughter had to get in on the action, it says. But probably they couldn't get they have to have the madness. I miss him. We miss him. Thankfully, he just got nominated into the Hall of Fame, so we got our madness. So sorry to cut you off, Lord.
It's okay. I'm trying to friggin'... Was it the Orlando Sentinel that has the article?
Yes.
They have a limit of how many times you can access their premium articles. So I just had a thing pop up.
Yeah, it sucks.
But so I'm just pulling it up on a different website because that article had a ton of stuff. Like big news for Disney fans. Like it sounds like besides just prize redemption counters at resort hotels being closed. You piece of Anyway, I remember reading that they're removing the prize. I think they already have removed the prize counter.
They removed it from
All Star Music, and it sounds like they completely shut down the arcade in Tomorrowland.
Yeah, they're shutting it down.
That it's
Which
getting.
the whole thing is pretty much being absorbed like the board by the friggin'
Mm-hmm.
the thing is, if they have to get, and they're also talking about the game station in what is it in
In
contemporary, where
contemporary, yeah.
this is how bad it is. I'm on a first name basis with the people that run that place,
It sounds like
and
they're shutting down it sounds like they're shutting down the arcades, the ones that have a lot of video games, to distribute them to the hotels to fill in the gaps from clearing out all the claw machines and redemption games, because those arcades are going to have huge holes in them.
yeah, cause that's when I sent the thing to Adam at Arcade Heroes, and I was asking him about like, hey, what do you think of this? I didn't have a chance to read the actual article. So I was wondering, obviously they're going to send it to Adam because he's got the other guy that runs the Stinger Report, who I'm sorry I forgot
Kevin
his
Williams.
name. Yes, Kevin, thank you. So those two guys are right on they have, I feel like, shit, what the hell is the character's name in Chasing Amy, and then he's in because he's in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Like, here's your finger, here's the pulse, but here's your finger jammed straight up your ass.
Yeah,
which it should be. So that's what I feel like. But he asked me, he goes, "What do you think about this?" And I said to him, "I think this might be the final nail in the coffin, because when you go to a place like I had not been I when I go to Disney World, I usually stay in the boardwalk, which is
mm-hmm.
kind of an odd hotel the way they have it set up. And when I was going there, I noticed how, the thing that sucks when you go to boardwalk is there's not a lot of good places to eat. So
Mm-hmm.
what I noticed was when I went in there, the arcade is getting taken over by the board, by the bakery
Yeah.
that's next door, because people want to have something to eat, so they made the bakery a lot bigger, so they have more stuff that the people could. I saw they were baking around the clock. It was like 10 o'clock at night, and they were getting ready for breakfast tomorrow morning. They were
Mm-hmm.
making muffins and shit like that. I was like, holy shit, these guys, it's like 11 o'clock at night. What the hell are they doing like that? But I went into the arcade, where the arcade's hooked up to the ESPN zone, and there was nothing there. So, and then the thing is, like, when you go to the the Contemporary now has another hotel connected to it called Bay Lake Tower. And this is the weird thing about Bay Lake Tower. Bay Lake Tower is not what I would call a hotel. They're just
Mm-hmm.
rooms.
Yep.
Because it has an extension bridge that takes you from the fifth floor of Bay Lake Tower. It'll take you to the fourth floor of the Contemporary, where the fourth floor is like the big hub, the central hub. So you have the main shops, you have the, places where you can get a bite to eat, places to, like a general store, like if you want to buy stuff for your hotel room,
Mm-hmm.
you need suntan lotion, you need some milk for the baby and stuff like that. And then the arcade was moved up to the fourth floor, because the first floor got where the arcade was got taken over and became a restaurant, which a lot of people, it's sacrilege that they got rid of it, because the one guy that I know by name, his name is D'Amato, he's the coordinator of the
Mm-hmm.
game station. He told me, he said, every day I get at least one person that says, God, I miss when you guys were downstairs. I wanted to show my kids that. But when you go to the game station, you've got a huge row of games that there's like the two major rows of games. Like if you go back and you watch the videos, there's all these islands of games that are just redemption games. And then you have the gigantic prize counter. If you get rid of that, there's like a giant hole in the arcade.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think they're going to fill the hole, and they're going to say, you know what? Let's put in these other games that the kids aren't playing. Let's put in more racing games. Let's put in more classic old arcade games. Let's put in more pinball machines. When supposedly I was told from, it wasn't D'Amato, it was one of the other workers was telling me that they told them that they could not have the keys to the pinball machines anymore. That they could only go to the technicians that go around to all the Disney arcades. And I said, so what happens if you get a stuck ball? We have to turn the game off and get and call the repairman in. I said, it's like of something that can take you less than 5 minutes to do.
Yeah, you just gotta open up and slide the glass if you need to.
He goes, yeah. He said they won't let us do it. And I said, so they'd rather the machine not make money for 5 minutes that you could have the key. Oh no, you click on one game, you give a kid a free play. Oh no, that's worse than having the game off for like a couple of hours where it could be making money. That's pathetic.
But honestly, I think from Disney's perspective, I don't think they're looking at the video games as a cash revenue so much.
It's not.
I think they're looking at them more as offering that little bit extra when you stay at their resorts.
Yeah.
If you stay off property, you're not getting a full arcade within the hotel.
If they do keep it, I think it's just going to get pushed back because there's like the general store that's next door.
Mm-hmm.
And since I said, like, with Bay Lake Towers, there's all of these rooms. And if you want to go and get a bite to eat, you have to go over to the Contemporary where you have all the people that are already staying in Contemporary.
Yep.
So you got all of these people that are clamming into one space to get a bite to eat. And you're going to have all this space that, all these redemption games are going to get taken out. Some of these, yeah, you can still play them. You're not going to get rewarded for it, which is like the big thing about playing these games. Why would you want to play Pac-Man Ticket Mania and not earn any tickets? Or Super Monkey Ball Ticket Blitz, and you're not getting tickets. There's all these games that,
they're based around earning tickets.
Even like, you can still have stuff like, so say the basketball, the shoot some hoops and stuff like that.
Or like the Seawolf remakes.
Yeah, you can still run those games and not have tickets, but half of those games that are in that arcade are ticket-based games, and you're telling me that they're just going to pick them up and get rid of them? I think the whole thing's going. That's just the way I think, because, and it's the same thing with Disney Quest. When I went to Disney Quest the last time, and I'm talking to the people there, and I'm going to find out when I go in August, because I'm actually going to Disney World twice. We're going in April, but I don't think I'm going to be going down there because the whole entire the downtown Disney, where it's all the shops, is like it's in chaos because they're expanding it.
Yep.
They're calling it Disney Springs, and they're just doing this whole thing where it's just going to be pretty much just absorbed. And I remember I walked up to the girl. I got my ticket, and this is how much of a nerd that I am. When I went to Disney Quest, well, here's the thing about me. Let's go into Nick's personal history. I graduated, and you graduated too, Gerard, class of 1999, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, 1999, my parents asked me, said, "What do you want to do for your graduation?" I said, "I want to go fucking Disney World. I'd rather go on a vacation." And we had already had the problem with our house burnt down, so I couldn't have like an outdoor barbecue because we were living in an apartment. So let's invite everybody over for an outdoor barbecue, in the apartment complex. That's not going to fly. So we basically just went to Disney World. We got we went on the cruise, which fucking sucked because it was like we were like the test audience for it. And the problem for me was I had just turned 18, and I'm too young for the children's activities, and all the teenager activities are like cappuccino and espresso bars.
You mean you're too old for the children's activities?
I'm too old for the children's activities, and like the teenager activities, I'm too old for too. And any of the adult activities, like how old are you? 18.
You're too young.
Yeah, I'm too young for the adult activities. And I walked in the cappuccino bar, and I hate the smell of like really like strong coffee. Just it's one of those things that just like irks me, and I get it out of my nose. I was in there for like 5 minutes, and I'm listening to this guy this kid, like silver spoon shoved up his ass, and just like, oh, I went on this one, and I went on this cruise. Oh, this cruise doesn't compare to the seas of the Caribbean. I was just like, oh, fuck yourself. Like, it's like trying to impress these girls about how many fucking goddamn things he's been on. So I just said, I want to go to Disney. And I think Disney Quest had opened the year prior, and I didn't get to go. So it was still fresh and new. And when you got out of Disney World, you know, it's the same thing with like everything in Disney World. When you exit through the gift shop, which is also the Banksy documentary title, Exit Through the Gift Shop. You always exit through the gift shop. So when you exited through the gift shop at Disney Quest, they had Disney Quest things you could buy. They had hats, they had T-shirts, they had sweaters, and
polo shirts.
That's what I got.
Yep.
They don't even, you try to get a polo shirt there now, Jesus Christ, they're made like shit. So one thing with Disney, they used to have the best shirts. Now they're just made like shit. They're made like a fucking J. Crew shirt that's like, you know, really super thin. So I bought the Disney Quest black polo shirt, and I mean, it looks really nice. And you know, whenever we go out for dinner, you know, if we go to one of the nicer restaurants, I make sure I bring a nicer shirt. So we were going to be going out to dinner that night, and I said, fuck it, I'm going to wear the Disney Quest polo shirt to Disney Quest. And it was weird because I had worn it, I forget the last time that I wore it to Disney Quest.
So this is on your most recent trip to Disney Quest.
This was on, this is like, there's 2 videos of Disney Quest that I did. So I'm wearing the polo shirt in every one of those things that I did that. So the first time I went there, when I was wearing the Disney Quest polo shirt, I was getting dirty looks from the people. I don't know why. They were just like looking at me sideways and stuff like that. But when I went the second time, people were like, oh my God, where did you get that shirt from? I said, the year that this place opened, and there was hopes that this was going to take off and be a franchise. And the girl just laughed at me. She said, really? He goes, I never knew they made Disney Quest shirts. He goes, that's nicer than the one that I'm wearing now. And I said, yeah, that one looks stupid. It's like green with swirls on it. It's just like, that's ugly looking.
And this was back when you got the shirt. This was back when there was advertisements everywhere about the interactive Disney rides, like the Aladdin Magic Carpet ride or the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, the like virtual reality type stuff.
I guess we'll just touch base on it for the benefit of the people that didn't listen to us before. But, you know, when I went to Disney Quest the second time, you know, I said, oh boy, I'm going to go on all these rides that I haven't been on in a long time. And I go on Aladdin's Magic Carpet, and the friggin' headset smells like BO, and the inside of the headsets are so old, the friggin' picture's all blurry. It's not like, you know, you look at what the guys with the Oculus Rift came out. I mean, I would love to have seen the guys from Oculus say, hey, can we partner with Disney Quest and update some of these rides? Because here's the next thing. I was talking to one of the workers, and now whenever you go to Disney World, the workers there have their badges on with their name, and it has where they're from originally. So one of the security guards I was talking to, it said he was from the Bronx. And I said, hey, where from the Bronx are you? And he goes, I'm not really from the Bronx. I just went with that. And I said, really? I said, where are you from? He said, I'm from Coney Island. And I said, really? He said, yeah, they wouldn't let me get one that said Coney Island, New York. They think it's an amusement park. They don't think people live on Coney Island. So when I went, the last time I went, I got the guy, you know, he checked my bag. And I looked at him, and I looked at his badge, and I said, wow. I said, they gave you a Coney Island badge. And he looked at me like I had 6 heads. And I told him, I said, no, you said you checked me out a few years ago. You checked my bag. And they told you couldn't have a Coney Island badge. He goes, yeah, they finally gave it to me like a few months ago. I said, well, congratulations. Like that.
You can represent your hometown.
You represent him, baby. So I find this guy, I think his name was Scott or something. He was from the Bronx. And it's like I said, hey, you know, no, he was from Brooklyn. And I said, hey, you know L&B Smony Gardens in Brooklyn? He goes, oh, man, I missed that place. The pizza down here sucks. Like that. So he's telling me, like, I was talking to him and I bumped into him a second time and I told him about how bad the VR games were. And he goes, Nick, when those games start up, they're running on Windows 95 operating systems. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. He goes, they haven't done a damn thing with this place after the Chicago branch shut down. Because they were planning on... It's the same thing with the WWE. How much money they dropped in the WWF New York. Do you know how much money he wasted on that? $34 million.
And Disney at the time had a place... They were going to... Disney Quest, the idea, if I remember correctly, was to branch out and have multiples.
Oh, yeah. They were going to take
East Coast, West Coast.
Dubai. They were going to take on... They were going to take on Jillian's. They were going to take on Dave & Buster's. And, of course, they were going to take on Universal and DreamWorks with GameWorks. They wanted their own brand. Like, hey, we're Disney. You know, we're the amusement park specialists. So, hey, we got downtown Disney West Side open. They got a huge space for Disney Quest. So they opened that up. There you go. You got Disney Quest. But then they said, okay, where are we going to go? And also another benefit for the people that don't listen to the Disney Quest episode, when I was there the first year, they were taking investors around because I'm in an arcade and there's guys in fucking three-piece business suits. And a guy's showing them through like, this is Cyberspace Mountain and the kids can program their own roller coasters. Oh, come over right over here, guys. And this is where you can buy a VHS copy of your ride. You can play it back. And they were still offering the VHS tapes, Gerard, in 2006. I was like, they didn't even update it to DVD? They were still selling VHS?
Oh, shit.
When I went there the last year that I was there, I did look to see if they still had VHSs, and they finally updated it to DVD-Rs. Like, fucking finally. This fucking place is pathetic.
Now, to kind of sway back on topic a little bit. So with this law, basically authorities haven't gone into the larger FECs and told them you have to get rid of these games.
Yeah.
The law is originally meant to attack senior arcades, internet arcades, and like what the hell they call them, like sweepstake games.
Yeah, any game that go for the seedy underbelly. I don't think they're going to go after a kid in a Dave & Buster's like, hey, give me that stuffed giraffe, bastard. That costs more than 75 cents.
But the way the law is written and saying that the law limits value prizes to 75 cents per gameplay and that games that issue prizes, tickets, receipts, or gift cards would be held to a skill predominant standard. It keeps it very skill predominant standard. I mean, technically that's 51%. 51% would be the dominant percentage. Yeah. So the game has to require 51% of skill. How the hell do you determine that?
Well, I know with like claw games, you can set them.
You can program them. Yeah,
the win rate. And when we went to the Jersey Shore, you can see there's all those games that, like, you know, if there's an iPod in it, you ain't fucking winning it.
Yeah.
But if there's like, I remember seeing like little stuffed Alf.
Yeah. I
remember the guy saying, "Sir, where did you win that, sir?" I was like, and I held up the thing and said, "I'm a winner at Lucky Leo's."
Yeah.
I left that on my Alf. I still have him up there.
So this law is so loose.
I'll have to take a photo of that for the cover of it. It'll be the Alf.
That'd be a perfect cover. So this law is so loose that other people are pointing the finger and saying, well, you can't pick and choose. The law says prizes have to be prizes 75 cents or more, can't be won, and you're not allowed to use a card for playing. It has to be coins only.
Yeah.
There's all these family entertainment centers, FECs, there's Boomers, there's Disney, Dave & Buster's. They're doing this. They're getting away with it. They're breaking the law as this law is written.
Yep.
And some people are saying, well, this is more entertainment. It's entertainment and it's kids. And opponents of this new law are saying, it's a bad example. We're teaching kids to gamble. This has to go.
Yep.
And Disney kind of just went. I mean, it's Disney. They don't want any bad press
Yeah.
whatsoever. So they see this possibly coming. Their name has even been mentioned by lawyers. So they're just like wiping the hands. We're done.
Yeah.
There's one attorney in particular, Michael Wolff, who it's kind of hard to understand the one article, but he seems to be kind of jumping sides. 1 minute he has a quote saying this is a word for word quote that was in the West Palm Beach Post. Listen, if senior arcades are subject to the new law, so is everyone else. There's no carve out in law for Boomers or Dave and Buster's or Chuck E. Cheese or even Disney. And at one point he was representing the senior arcades, I believe, in trying to fight for them. They lost. So then he started filing lawsuits against the larger arcades. And there's another Post article with a quote saying that the lawsuit was filed in hopes of forcing entertainment firms like Palace Entertainment, which owns Boomers, as well as other large FEC operators to join the fight against the law.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes on to say, we think when they come to the realization that the law does apply to them, they'll be screaming bloody murder.
Yeah.
So you have this lawyer who, from what I've read online, he's kind of playing both sides. Another quote says he called this whole law and the looseness, he calls it a lawyer's orgasm. It's like a dream come true.
Yeah.
And
it's spelled C-U-M.
Yeah, it's like a dream come true, and it's just a mess. And his whole reason with his strategy of now going after the big guys is, he said, the Miami Herald, actually no, he didn't say this, Miami Herald said this, Wolf's strategy is to force the well-heeled chains, which so far haven't been targeted by police and prosecutors seeking to enforce the law, to join force. Actually, I'm sorry. This is Michael Wolff that said that. For some reason, he spoke about himself in the first person. Anyway, the gist of the quote is, if I push against the bigger companies, they're going to push back, and they'll push back a lot more than the little senior arcades.
Mm-hmm.
And he quotes an Abraham Lincoln quote. He says, Abraham Lincoln said it best, the best way to repeal a bad law is to strictly enforce it.
Yeah.
So in the end, the push against Disney did not work. Disney just folded their arms. They're not going to fight for the claw machines because there's no money in that. It means nothing to them. Yeah. So now they're going to have a new location for a Starbucks, and Starbucks is the new coffee shop that's popping up in Disney World.
Oh yeah, and they've already got Starbucks in there. I was just like, like when Adam was asking me, he goes, "What do you think they're going to do?" I said, "A place like the friggin' like Game Station." I said exactly what I said. You have all these people that are going over there. That's more spot for them to have a restaurant. Mm-hmm. That's another spot for them to have have a coffee shop or something like that. You know, I see what Disney's been doing with all their stuff. They want to get more food in, more places to go and do stuff like that. You know,
hell, maybe they'll expand merchandise for Space Mountain.
Yep.
I mean, they just opened up they finally opened up a store dedicated to Haunted Mansion merchandise. Yeah. Maybe they'll do that in Space Mountain. A little more space for retail, a little more space for coffee.
Place, yeah. Sorry. We gotta tie the Disney and Macho Man Randy Savage hour.
But this
there we go.
But this is ridiculous. This whole law is so loose. It's not tight. It's left up to interpretation. And it's ridiculous because the real people that are going to suffer are the people that run family entertainment centers.
Yeah.
People are going to lose their jobs. People have already started losing jobs for distributors. That's the one thing Adam in his article on Arcade Heroes goes on to talk about. There's like a ripple effect. It doesn't just affect the people running the arcades. Now it affects the distributors that distribute and maintain these games, the people that run the routes. It also affects manufacturers. There's a company in Florida, its name escapes me, but they make redemption machines. It's going to affect them, obviously drastically, since their own state, people are going to be leery of having claw machines and redemption games, and it's just ridiculous.
Because it's one of the guys they interviewed in the Orlando Sentinel said how he had already let 2 people go.
Yeah.
Because it's basically one of the guys was talking to me. His name was, I forget the other gentleman that talked to me, because as I said, I went 2 years when I started going. I was talking to D'Amato, who's a coordinator, and I talked to one of the other guys who was one of the other technicians. But there was another guy named Robin, and he told me, he goes, yeah, it's basically this company that Disney hires, and they taught me everything that I know, and I just go around in the repair truck, and I have an itinerary, and they say, okay, you need to go to Art of Animation. Okay, you need to go to Polynesian. All right, you go to Grand Floridian, and you go around. You basically go around wherever they need you. And he said you're on every day.
Now,
and it was funny. He's telling me, he goes, I love fixing these. I was talking about the pinball machines, because I mean the guy buffs them to like a mirror finish. I mean the ones at the game station are brand new, like whenever you play them, which is weird because they had the whole problem where this was the other thing, and another reason why I think it's going. This is the other thing that I forgot to mention. Remember I told you about what happened with the Elvis machine?
Yep.
All right, so what happened with the Elvis machine? The guy Robin was telling me that they had a technician in there, and they had gotten told that the top right flipper on Elvis was malfunctioning. It wasn't working right. And for people that have not played the Elvis Presley game, it's a Steve Ritchie design game that has a third flipper on the main playfield, and then it has the top where it's a Heartbreak Hotel. But he said that the guy wired in the flipper wrong and blew out the mechanism. He put it in incorrectly. He had it. He put it in upside down, and it shorted and it blew out. So he said, we got on the phone with the company, with the heads up, and we told them, yeah, we need a new flipper assembly for Elvis Presley. And how much is that going to cost? And let's just say $45. You either run it without a flipper or get rid of the game. So here's the thing. They run the game with only 2 flippers on the main playfield. The game plays better than the Elvis Presley that they have at the Silver Ball Museum in New Jersey. I was just like, you almost forget that it's not. I was like, oh yeah, I can't do the one loop shot that you do on the game. I was like, why can't I do that? And I looked over and went, oh my god, they just wrapped rubber bands on it. There's supposed to be a flipper there. Because I haven't played Elvis in such a long time. But, I mean, the guy keeps it running so good. I was like, why don't you just save up a little money and get yourself a fucking thing and fix it and make it 100% again? It's like, they won't let me do that. I was like, that's bullshit. I said, nope. I said, everything's on an itinerary that I have. I can't just say, hey, order me this part. And they're going to say, what for? So it's like fuck, go on Real Bob Roberts and buy it. Make a lot more money when the machines work correctly. I mean, you go and you look at the Pirates of the Caribbean that's in the if that Pirates of the Caribbean machine is still in next to Beaches and Cream at the Yacht and the Beach Club, oh my god, I want to take that and light it on fire. The thing is a goddamn toilet. It is black. I mean, the balls, I've never seen pinballs. I mean, they look like someone put them in a rock tumbler and put them back into the machine. I was just like, I said to both of them, I said to Robin, and I said to the other technician, I said, who's ever supposed to be maintaining the games at the Yacht and the Beach Club should be shot like that. And the guy just looked at me and goes, well, that's Eddie. He says that he makes his games, they're running great. I said, bullshit. I said I came from Boardwalk to come over here just to play pinball because you guys fix your machines. Because there's sometimes like when we go to Disney, we'll go for like 6 to 7 days, and you're like, you know what? The park is too fucking crowded. It's too fucking hot. No one is going to be in the goddamn arcade. And I feel like playing pinball for an hour. So I'll go over there, and then when I'm done, hopefully the most of the riffraff will be out because it'll be so hot. Most of them will all go back to the hotel and go in the pool.
Yep.
And I was like, wow, these people are off in the pool. I said, I'm gonna go hit some rides. That's what I do.
I was just looking. I found one other thing. There is a politician. The name isn't given, who is trying to go through the political process and make it so with this law that family entertainment centers and places like Disney are exempt.
Yeah.
So that there's no impact on it. Disney, of course, before it even, they're just pulling them. They want the good. They don't want any bad publicity.
Yeah.
And some of the manufacturers of redemption games in Florida you have Bob's Space Racers, Benchmark Games, and Jennison Labs.
Oh yeah, because those guys are based out in Florida, which is funny because they already had the AAPRA show. All right, I'm getting my the APRA show or whatever it is.
Yep.
They had that in Orlando where they're showing off the new redemption games. They're like, oh yeah, you guys are banned. We shouldn't even be showing the games off here at the trade show.
But it sounds like not everyone's taking the law seriously. It sounds like law enforcement. I remember reading something where someone called in a report on, I think it was on the Dave & Buster's.
Really?
Breaking the law with the claw machines or whatever, and I believe the law enforcement told them that they're not breaking the law. Okay. So it hasn't come to a crackdown on redemption machines yet, so to speak. But the way the law is written, it could happen. And that's what they're worried about, because 75 cents and you can't use a card, that covers a lot of places.
Oh yeah. I'm even wondering, like, because I've been using the same my Disney card because it's got Stitch from Lilo and Stitch on it. I'm sitting there wondering, like, is this even going to work when I go down there? So I'm wondering, is this thing even going to work? So I have to get a new card because, it's like when you go to Dave & Buster's, when you scan your card in, it'll say what your point balance is, and then it'll say what your ticket balance is. So are they just going to completely negate the ticket balance?
It sounds like that. It sounds like they're going to negate everything. It looks like the law says everything has to be coin operated.
Yeah.
No card reading based whatsoever.
Which is weird because they mention Pizza Planet. And Pizza Planet, this is the thing. When you go to Disney World, Pizza Planet and Tomorrowland Power Authority, they run on coin drop. When you go to the hotels, that's when they start using the tickets.
Yep.
And they start using the card system. So, and then and it's the same at in Universal. All the games are on coin drop in the park, in Islands of Adventure, in the Marvel Island, and then in the other one, it's all on coin drop. And then when you go to the hotel, the one hotel I had a very, very tiny arcade, but it still ran on fucking cards. And they had little ticket games that. This is one thing that they're doing that I thought was really neat. I didn't get the video of it in the Out on the Beach Club, but since they don't have a person in there that works there to redeem the tickets, like when you go to Game Station, you have the counter with an attendant. They have these new things that you can basically you scan your card in, and it'll say, okay, you have 16,000 coupons. You're eligible for these 5 prizes, and you can press a button, and it'll dispense the prize to you. So all of those machines they gotta get rid of now. So I mean, there's just like I can see they're probably going to try to expand. I don't know what the hell they're going to do with that, because the arcade and some of those places have been there since they've been built for over like 25, 30 years. They've always offered them. So I don't know if they would think of getting rid of the stuff that's actually bringing the kids in to make money. Because the one thing that Adam was saying to me, that Adam at the Game Grid does not run Redemption. He says, I'm there as an attendant for the games. I do not want to count tickets. I don't have a ticket feeder. He does have games like I forget, it's like the DVD rack spinner that spins around, and if you stop it on the light, you get to pick a DVD and you win a DVD or something like that. He said those are the only things that he has. Something that you automatically get a prize out. That's the kind of stuff that he runs, but he won't do other stuff like that. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see, and I'll find out in April when I go down there what's going to be going on.
Yep, and we'll keep everyone posted if there's any new changes to the law or anything else that comes out. Sorry if this episode ended up getting a little dry.
Yes.
But this is pretty big for the...
We're going in dry. Bite the pillow, we're going in dry. God, I love that photo of the Ewok.
Yeah.
You should have just made that. I don't know why we didn't make that the front cover. We're going in dry.
We haven't made the front cover yet. It could be.
I'll send you, or you could just put the picture of Alpha and say we're going
in dry. Yeah.
Part 2. Or bite the pillow. We'll discuss that later. So I think we're pretty much good, Gerard. Right?
Yep.
Good.
So Nick, do you have anything going on with the YouTubes that you want to share?
Oh, yes, indeed. So after you guys listen to this fine episode, I got a new look at version 1.4 of Mustang. What's funny about this video is the UI is out on the game. So a lot of the lights work, but not like the main lights in the game. It's really dark. So I was like, fuck it. It's quiet. There's not a lot of people in here. I'll get the video. I'll just play without the lights. It was just weird watching it. So when you see it, it's the current code of the game. They just didn't have a fuse to fix the game in. They had to get a fuse on order before they fixed it. So as always, folks, we want to thank you all very, very much for taking a little time out of your day and listening to us ramble on about pinball, about video games, about redemptions, about a weird Florida state law. I mean, if we weren't going to Disney World, we wouldn't be talking about it, period.
I do got one last thing to share. When researching this, and you can do this in Google, it's hysterical. I wanted to research the Florida ban on redemption games. That's what I was Googling. So I typed in Florida ban of... What is it? Florida ban. And for the suggestions, comes up Florida ban on feeding homeless. Florida ban the box law. Florida ban on gay adoption. Florida ban gay marriage. Florida ban growlers. The freaking 64-ounce beer growlers. There's apparently a ban on. Florida ban red light cameras. Florida ban on public food something. Florida ban smoking. Florida ban on pit bulls. Holy shit, I've never seen a state that wants to ban literally fucking everything.
They're insane. I'm telling you, because other than following Arcade Hunters on Twitter, if you follow 2 profiles on Twitter, you have to follow us and look up Florida Man.
Yes.
And Florida Man, it's the adventures of the world's worst superhero.
Yep.
And every day, the people at Florida Man, or person at Florida Man, finds a wacky news article about, like, a guy, like, running out in his underpants saying that, his T-shirt was being controlled by President Obama, and he wanted them to enforce Sharia law on everybody or something like that. I don't know. I'm not getting political. But check it out. So once again, we all want to thank you so much for listening. You can find us on all of your favorite social media platforms, on Facebook, Tumblr, Instagram, and as we said, Twitter. You can find us, of course, on thearcadehunters.com. If you're not listening to us over on YouTube, look up the Arcade Hunters. We're under youtube.com/pressstartcomic under our old name. And that's pretty much it. So, Gerard, you want to say goodbye? And we'll close off.
Thanks for listening. I'm not going to make any promises on what the next episode will be about, because every time we do that, we end up doing something else.
Oh, yeah.
But I have a feeling...
I was like, oh, it's only 2 things. We'll be able to go...
Well, I knew this is...
We'll talk about...
After digging deeper, I'm like, this is going to be the whole thing.
Oh,
but next week, we will be bringing something lighter to the table.
Excellent. So, folks, thank you very much for listening. And we'll talk to you next time here on the Arcade Hunters Podcast.